Hey gamers, this is John, host of Video Games in the World. So, there are two news things I need to talk to you about today. So, one of them is called Sony going third party, publishing games to Nintendo Switch and PC. So, it turns out that Sony is going to go multi-platform and publish games to the Switch and also to PC. The full story is even stranger about that. So, early this morning, that Sony Music Entertainment announced that it's breaking into the world of game publishing with a new indie label called Unties. Unties seeks to free game creators from the various ties that hold them down from getting their games the attention they deserve, and the label has vowed to make free, limitless publishing a reality, from a press release in this morning, which stated the following. Recent progress in the game development world has made it possible for even a small-scale production teams to create high-quality games. The evolution of digital publishing has also made it possible for creators to deliver their own titles to consumers around the world, which spawned an indie game movement centered around North America. Conversely, this has created an unfortunate side effect where certain creative, unique titles end up getting buried in the market without getting the proper exposure they deserve. Unties hopes to unearth high-quality titles like these and utilize SME's vast entertainment business wisdom in order to expose them to as many consumers as possible. Unties will also handle PR and sales on multiple platforms. Well, what can I say? It sounds like a good thing that Sony might publish their own games to other consoles. So the games are the following, such as Tiny Metal, which is the first title of Unties. So Tiny Metal is a classic style strategy sim created by Area 35, a new studio led by spirited young creator Hiroaki Yuta. On November 21st, the game will be released worldwide on the PS4, the Switch, and PC. It is a fusion of classic turn-based strategy battles and cutting-edge 3D graphics powered by Unreal Engine, and is sure to entertain fans all around the world. Despite the fact that the game is built off the classic turn-based strategy genre, it's filled with brand new systems and unique twists on old favorites. Another one is called Last Standard, that was created by From Japan, an elite group of college student creators. It garnered a huge response at the indie gaming area during the Tokyo Game Show 2017. So, it has this system called the Psycho Dive, allowing players to use social media to analyze the unconscious mind and fight using weapons created from the deepest recesses of the player's mind. Wow. So from the player's mind, are we talking about something like a real-life Sword Art Online or something? Perhaps, perhaps not. There's also Demo Reborn, and also Merkaba Avalanche, and who knows, tons of other games. Now, it's kind of cool to see that there's a publisher that wants to put Sony on other different consoles. Some will like it, others will not. Also, in other news, the Star Wars action-adventure video game by EA is being revamped. And why is that? Because Visceral Games is shutting down. Oh boy. So, if you know what Visceral Games is, let me tell you. It is the development team that brought Dead Space to life. Okay, so now, with Visceral Games gone, will we ever have another Dead Space? Perhaps, perhaps not. So, the single-player Star Wars game that Visceral has been working on will be overhauled and moved to a different EA studio, leaving a major name's future uncertain with a company. So, the executive vice president of EA Worldwide Studios posted the following. Our Visceral studio has been developing an action-adventure title set in the Star Wars universe. In its current form, it was shaping up to be a story-based linear adventure game. Throughout the development process, we have been testing the game concept with players, listening to the feedback about what and how they want to play, and closely tracking fundamental shifts in the marketplace. It has become clear that to deliver an experience that players will want to come back to enjoy for a long time to come, we need to pivot the design. So it's now going to be developed by EA Vancouver, and Soderlund says that it will maintain the stunning visuals, authenticity in the Star Wars universe, and focus on bringing the Star Wars story to life. Importantly, we are shifting the game to be a broader experience that allows for more variety and player agency, leaning into the capabilities of our Frostbite engine and reimagining central elements of the game to give players a Star Wars adventure of greater depth and breadth to explore. And Visceral is ramping down and closing. Now, a lot of people who loved video games like Dead Space are not gonna love this. It has been around for over 2 decades, starting at EA's Redwood Shores, and the name was changed to Visceral in 2009, followed the release of the first Dead Space video game. Now, I'm a big fan of Dead Space, and with Visceral closing down, I don't know if we're ever gonna have a sequel to Dead Space 3 or a possible reboot. But who knows? It's up to EA to create a sequel or a reboot of Dead Space. Visceral also developed games like Lord of the Rings, The Godfather, and James Bond, such as the surprisingly good Everything or Nothing. And they have been working on a Battlefield DLC for years and the spin-off Battlefield Hardline. So now the Star Wars Visceral game in development was being headed up by Amy Hennig, who you know from the Uncharted series. When she spoke about it last year, she said it may be spiritually similar to Uncharted, but that it will also be on its own thing. So unfortunately, Hennig might not be involved with the project, but what's going to be her next move? What's going to be her next move? Well, only time can tell, and only we can find out about it. Anyway, people, if you have something to say about this thing with Sony going third party and EA, just remember, comment, go for it. And subscribe. This is John, host of Video Games in the World. Have a good one. Bye-bye.